FTC 7129, the Robo Raiders, and I'm here with Mrs. Lucas, a program manager at Leidos, an FTC coach for 8 years, and she's been involved in the first program for 10 years. We're going to go over documentation today. So our first question is, what documentation do we need?
Well, this year we have a new item. We have the portfolio, and we also have our engineering notebook. Those are the two key items a team is going to need to be competitive at Judged Awards.
And why is documentation so important?
Well, there's two reasons. One is the awards, right? There are requirements for each award to have an engineering notebook or engineering portfolio component. Also, it's a record for the team to go back and look. If you ever wonder why you did something, that's what the engineering notebook's for, to go back and understand, well, why did we decide this drivetrain versus this drivetrain? So it's a good record for the team to track.
So what is the engineering portfolio?
It's new this year. It's a 15-page document, and it's really a synopsis of your engineering notebook. It should cover all the areas from your design to your team plan to your outreach events, your anything you did through the seasons. It's a really high level outline of your engineering notebook.
And how do you figure out what to include in your portfolio?
Well, I can tell you the best thing to do is to look at the game manual. Look at the section that talks about the portfolio, and look at each award. Right? You need a team plan for the Connect and the Motivate awards. So and it needs to be into the portfolio. So go and look at the game manual and map where you need to have content for the engineering notebook and put that in there.
And what are some important things to include in your notebook?
Oh, wow. A team plan. That's important, because if you don't have a team plan, you can't win Connect or Motivate, right? Brainstorming, right? At the beginning of the season, you have to sit down and, what's our game strategy going to be? What are our ideas? All that needs to be in there. Why did you decide to do this or that? Like I say, any decisions. Why did you pick tank drive over Meccano, right? What was the basis for the decisions? Did you have a SWOT chart? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Did you just go on scoring? Did you use decision trees? Put those in there. Diagrams are great. Put your lessons learned. Successes and failures, that's important as the judges look through your manual or your portfolio. And talk about calculations. If you use math to figure out trajectory, put that calculation in there. And drawings and pictures, those are super important. And if you have drawings, label them so we know why we're looking at them, or the same with pictures.
And how can you make your documentation stand out?
It really needs to be easy to read. It needs to be legible. If you're going to do a handwritten one, make sure you use your good penmanship. Make it comprehensive. It needs to cover all the areas. That's very important. Make sure you really document your engineering in there. Include the pictures, and again, calculations. That will make you stand out above other notebooks.
And how can you ensure professional documentation?
Well, again, kind of be neat, but go in there and be organized, right? Have a good structure to it. So think about how you want your notebook to look at the beginning. Have it laid out, and like I said, and label those sections, right? This is my engineering. Here's our team plan. Here's our outreach events. Here's, kind of break it out and make it easy for someone looking at your notebook to find something. Again, I talked penmanship. And follow the guidance in the game manual. There's some, do's and don'ts about the notebook.
And what are some common mistakes you see in notebooks?
Not starting the notebook until just before it's time to be reviewed. So you really need to start the notebook at the beginning of the season, because it's going to be hard 2 months from now to remember why you did something. So start documenting it now and get everybody involved in it. Biggest mistake is missing a team plan. I've been a judge. This is my 10th year for being a judge, and I don't know how many times I look at a notebook and somebody did a great job, maybe for Connect or Motivate, and they had no team plan, and that's a requirement. So make sure you have all those sections that are critical for a judged award.
And do you have any final thoughts on the notebook?
everything you do, document it in the notebook, right? If it's not in the notebook, we say it didn't happen, right? And keep up on it. I can say with Robo Raiders, once a month we make sure the notebook's up to snuff, right? That we've got everything we need, we don't have gaps, because again, you can't remember things at the end. You can only remember, it's easier to remember when you do.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me about the notebook.
Thank you for watching this video on documentation with Mrs. Lucas. This is our 7th video in our Game On series, and next week's video will be on maintenance for your robot. Stay tuned. Bye.